Hi everyone, day number 12 for 30 Days to Communications Excellence. What I want you to do is I want you to start noticing the principle of GIGO around you. GIGO, no, it's not a type of a bird. It stands for garbage in, garbage out. People use this term in computers all the time, talking about programming where they get bad information or poor instructions and therefore you don't get a good result. So GIGO is a very important concept for people to remember. But it's not just a computer program. It's what's happening all the time in communication between individuals. It happens in conversation and it happens in print. There are three patterns that people normally do in conversation that I'm about to tell you about. Remember when I told you back on day one that NLP was about studying excellence? Well, they found in studying the therapists that made the changes that the therapists who just plunged on through poor communication and opened up the communication got the best results. But those people who didn't have the ability to open up the communication didn't get good results at all. Let me give you an example of that. You walk into someone's home and the wife is sitting there crying and she looks up and she says, "My husband hurt me so much." Now, if you're a good friend, you might sit down, put your arm around the person and say, "Oh, that's okay. Despite the fact that he had an affair with another woman, I'm sure he loves you very much." Or you might say to her, "Oh my gosh, he hurt you? Let's call the abuse shelter hotline and get you out of here immediately." Or you could go to her and say, "Yes, I know he didn't say anything to you about your birthday, but I know that he's taking you out to dinner and he has an entire special evening planned. I wasn't supposed to say anything, but I'm watching the kids so the two of you can go out tonight." Or it could have been, "You know, honey, he's been so preoccupied with that big contract. I know he didn't mean to rush out of the house without giving you your goodbye kiss this morning, but I'm sure he'll call you as soon as he gets to work and remembers it." Now, how did we get all of these different interpretations? Because the woman was sitting there crying and she said, "My husband hurt me." And hurt is an unspecified verb. You don't know how the husband hurt her. It could have been physically, it could have been emotionally, it could have been spiritually, it could have been psychically, that he sat there and, sent beams, evil beams of thoughts to her. It could have been any of those things. But we don't know. And when you jump into a conversation and you don't know what the person behind the conversation really meant, it's GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. So what people do is they do three things typically in conversation and in writing. Number one, they generalize. Generalize means they don't give you any specific material. Okay? "My husband hurt me." Okay? The second thing that they do is that they distort. People distort saying, "That is the most outrageous behavior I've ever seen." Really? That was the most outrageous behavior? Someone losing a pencil? Are you serious? So people distort. And the other thing is they delete things. Sandra is behind the camera now, and she's got some former friends of hers who are all upset, but they are deleting from their experience that Sandra and her family took care of these people and fed them when they didn't have a dime in their pockets, all of a sudden they won the equivalent of the lottery, and now their friends who fed them when they had nothing are forgotten. It's totally out of their mind. So these three things, generalization, distortion, and deletion, are conversation killers. Opening up the conversation, getting to the actual meaning and intent, the full intent of the conversation, is what is called the use of the meta model. It came out of the book. It's a not the simplest book in the world, but it's worth a read. It's The Structure of Magic, Volume 1 by Bandler and Grinder. I recommend it because nothing else has been written that does a better job on teaching the meta model. But we will begin learning the meta model tomorrow. Make sure you've got a pen and paper in front of you when we do that. Have a great day.